Cool.
And you're always free to begin again, and you're always free. All my life I've always wanted to have one day just for me. Nothing to do and for once nowhere I need to be. With no lessons, lords, or lunches, or to-do list in the way. No one to say when to eat or read or leave or stay. My life I've always wanted to have one day for myself. Not waking up with a pile of work on every shelf. With no hems in need of pressing and no sleeves in disarray. No wedding gown with 1,000 stitches to crochet. I'll remain forever royal. I'll repay my parents' debt. Duty means doing nothing your heart may well regret. But I'll never stop believing she can never stop my schemes. Yes, I am a girl like you. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. You're just like me. You're just like me. It's something anyone can see. A heart that beats, a voice that speaks the truth. Yes, I am a girl like you. And if what you are is a strange you, doesn't mean you should change you, only means you should change your point of view.
Princess Annalise?
Hey, feline, you fetch just fine to thine own self. Be true. Together, promise what will be,
shall always be.
I'll stay by your side if you love me for me. If you love, and it may not show at the start. When you live your dream, you'll find destiny is written in your heart.
That was so much fun. Next up, we're gonna have Alex's. He can't be here, but he sent in a video as well. Here it is.
Alza la bandera dominicana. Alza la bandera puertorriqueña. Alza la bandera mexicana. Alza la bandera cubana. Arriba esa bandera, alzala donde quiera. Me acuerdo de mi tierra, me acuerdo de mi tierra. Esa bonita bandera contiene mi alma entera. Y cuando yo me muera, entiérrame en mi tierra.
So that was Alex's. Next up, we have Laura's.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Pasquale and this is my official Texpo presentation. I am recording this ahead of time because unfortunately my professor rescheduled my meeting with him, but I've had such a fun time doing Texpo, and I'm excited to finally get to show you guys what I've been working on. So I started off not being fully sure what I wanted to do, but knowing I wanted to do something with the show Big Fish. And so in the initial stages of my Texpo ruminations, if you will, I did a lot of Pinterest mood board stuff because I was thinking, like, how do I want to approach this? Did I want to do it sort of from a costumes, scenic, all the different tech things? But I was always sort of drawn towards like where they sort of coincide, which is like from a directorial point of view, because when we normally do shows, we have the director meet with every single tech department, and then they'll sort of talk through what the vision for the show is. So I ended up making a collage that is sort of my vision for Big Fish, and that is what you can see here. So a lot of my inspiration for the scenery, you can kind of see present with the flowers, and I have if you look in the bottom left corner, there's a big bank safe. And so these are sort of ideas I had for like, if I'm staging Big Fish, I want flowers and greenery really important to me. And I want like a good bank scene because there is a part of Big Fish where there is a bit of a bank robbery. It's not the biggest part, but I think it's fun. And then in terms of costumes, I was really, the two most important aesthetics to me for this show are sort of the like circus aesthetic, because I think the portion of Big Fish where they're at the circus is really important, not only to the plot, but also just visually. I think it's very entertaining. And also sort of just the generic 50s, 60s university woman look, which you can see in the bottom of my collage. And so if I were to be actually staging Big Fish, those would be like where I put most of my costuming sort of brain cells into, is making sure that I have really pretty simple, accurate 50s looks, and then also more different and edgy sort of circus looks to really just juxtapose the two worlds that our main character lives in. Yeah, so that's the main things on my mood board. As you can see, I also have little flares just to sort of evoke the energy of the show. I think for me, when I think of Big Fish, I think of, magic, circus, wartime, Southern Gothic, which is kind of a lot. And so I tried to make it as simple as I could, but I really had a lot of fun working on Texpo. I went through a lot of different stages of development before I reached this final goal, and all of them were super fun and beneficial. So I hope you guys like my collage, and thank you for coming to the Texpo.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Next up, we have our live presentations. Give me a second to get my shit together. I have like a million different things open. I've like lost the Zoom. Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Next up, we have our live presentations. I will be kicking off our first one. Also give me a second to get that open. Okay. My project was for Into the Woods. I did some scenic painting. So what I made is a representation of a backdrop I would do for Into the Woods. So in the past, when I've made backdrops, I generally start with a small painting like this one here, and it helps me get a good idea of color, composition, etc. So I'd always make something like this in the process of making a backdrop. Into the Woods, for those of you who aren't too familiar with it, I assume all of you are, but It's a musical that adapts a couple different fairy tales, including Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, and takes like the characters from these fairy tales. And these characters are all different shades of young, dumb, or broke, which is why I chose this musical in the first place. But they all have some sort of goal that requires them to venture into the woods. For example, Little Red Riding Hood is off to see her grandmother. And here you can see a couple quotes I've taken from the script. Some of these are lyrics, some of these are stage directions, but I looked at these in particular because for me it was kind of tempting to make the forest very like ominous looking. And you can see I didn't really, because it has all these like scary things in it and all these like terrible things that happen in it. But you can see in the script, like it begins as this like bright, sunlit, kind of exciting place along the path. So I wanted to make sure I incorporate that into my painting. But as there are these like scary things that happen in it, I wanted to incorporate some of that too. So here's some reference pictures I used in painting. You can see while they still have some of the brightness in the middle, their use of like color and composition, like all these like grays or blues and these like trees that are all like looming over the center, make it look pretty foreboding. So you can see here, I wanted to paint something that could work with both types of scenes. So I used some warm colors, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, especially in the center on the path, as well as keeping a lot of the blues and greens on the outside. I kept the edges darker as well to imply more trees and forests, as well as to bring in that like creepy looming aspect that I liked from my reference photos, excuse me. And also how the mood of the scene and how the backdrop would look would depend on how it was lit. So warm lighting would bring out some of this brightness, while cool lighting or like darker lighting would make it a little creepier. So this was my project. I hope you like it. But next off, I'm gonna pass it off to Peyton, who's gonna share what she's been working on.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, why do I have so many tabs open? Hold on, hold on. I was just looking at it. Where did it go? Where? Oh, it's on. Aha, I see. Okay. Share. Oh, I should. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I gotta get, the full effect. Okay, share screen. Oh, still not the screen I was going towards. Okay, can you guys see this blank screen? Okay. Cool. Here we go. Haha, good one, Jarrell. Okay. I can't look at Lisa. Remy, my ratatouille, the red of all my dreams. I praise you, my ratatouille. The world will remember your name. So this is gonna be some scenic and lighting designs from the hit TikTok musical Ratatouille. I did not design this playbill. I added the artist in the bottom corner. I just wanted to throw that out there. Nothing I designed is this intricate, but the vibes are there. So let's see. So the scene that I will be showing you today is, of course, the iconic scene when super tough Parisian critic Anton Ego first tries Remy's cooking at Gusteau's. So you have our girl Colette here, our boy Linguini, and our homie Anton Ego. So this is like my top design layout that, shout out to Malcolm, I learned how to kind of do on Vectorworks. I still don't really know what a lot of stuff is on there, but I tried my best. So at the top, the big platform we have is like kind of like a glass bridge that goes across like 8 or so feet up in the air. And you'll see this from different views, but it's like a bridge that goes across. So when Remy is in Linguini's hat. The actor who plays Remy will be standing on this platform while like there's a silhouette in the hat. So it's like not a weird thing or like a grown person has to pretend to be a rat in a hat. They're going to be up on the balcony while there's like a silhouette in the hat. This is the scene that I was just telling you guys about. So there's the tables for the restaurant, and then I'm planning on flying in. I think I decided to change where I'm flying in the curtains after I did this because I want Remy to be able to see. And so the curtains are actually going to fly in behind the platform because this is Texpo and I can do what I want. There's going to be flats that are paintings of like the restaurant walls to add scenery. And then there are flats in each portal because there's some things that are going to happen. So we're going to go through it with you guys. So oh no, Anton Eagle is here at the restaurant. What shall we do, right? Panic mode. So this is our left side portal where we have the door to the kitchen inspired by the pictures of the door to the kitchen. So the restaurant itself is kind of like red wood, like kind of like cabin-y vibes, but like elite Parisian cabin. As you'll see later on with like the front view as well. But so that's what we have going on in this portal. We have like some wood paneling. There's only gonna be one door because portals aren't that big, but it's gonna have like the metal bottom and the metal handle like a kitchen door wood. And during the scene, Linguini and Colette are gonna be able to like pop their little heads out to be trying to spy on what Anton Ego is thinking about their food. So this is our front view. So when Anton Ego first enters, this is my attempt at lighting design, is these layers of different colors. So just go with it. But it's very like cold and blue because especially at the beginning, he wants none of it. This man is not having it. So he's already decided to throw Gusteau's in the trash before he even walked in, but it's fine. He gets the center stage at this table here, and like everything about like the flats and everything really frames him up to be in the center right there. So this like black area is that glass walkway I was telling you guys about. And I think I'm also gonna fly in this chef's hat cutout thing right behind it, so that you can tell that Remy is in the chef's hat, and that way Remy gets to be a part of the action. Like I said, fancy cabin vibes, so it's like red and wood. But there are wall sconces and it's like fancy, you know, props would bring in some flowers. It would be a nice time. There's like gilded gold edges to everything because it's fancy, fancy dinner times. So it's all cold and blue. And then, what? Anton Ego has just taken a bite of this, what he presumed to be simple ratatouille, when he is transported. And so we then see Anton go, he gets frozen on stage. It's kind of a blackout, but we're still able to see him frozen, so it's more of like a dark blue out, I think, like that kind of vibe. It's not like a total like blackout on stage, but like is darker. And oh my gosh, the sunshine, the light, the childhood that he had forgotten about until this moment springs into his mind as he eats this ratatouille. And so then we get brought to our right side portal. So our right side portal has a flat of inspired by Anton's mom's kitchen. So it's got like the warm yellowy vibes. There's like a door painted into it, but outside you can see like the French countryside painted in the middle with the leaves, his bike left outside. There's just the one little table with just the one chair for tiny Anton, a little janky stove with some fruit hanging, where Anton's mom is giving him that bite of ratatouille that changed his life and encouraged him to become a food critic and really just changed the way he thought about food. So because of that, we get this warm spotlight. This is like everything else on the stage is still, you can see everybody else frozen waiting for his reaction, but it's dark, and this is where the warm light comes in. Because he is just so happily shocked, he's just brought back the joy of this memory just from this one bite of food. He can't stop eating it. He's giggling. This man is giggling. What? He smiles for the first time the whole show. And then our front view of the stage brightens up. It gets warmer. We can see everybody. It's a happy time here at Gusto's because once again, we're back on top, all because a rat cooked our food. Like I have said this whole Texpo adventure, y'all, you don't get any more young, dumb, or broke than a rat. And this rat saved the day today. So like we always say to our boy Remy, the world will remember his name. Thank you.
Thank you, Peyton. Last but certainly not least, we have Karina's project. If you would like to present.
Yes, let me figure out the screen sharing. Okay, does everybody see what they need to see? And then present. Okay, so I decided to do my project on School of Rock and I wanted to do hair and makeup for it. And it's all sponsored by my obsession with Jack Black, so he needed to be featured on here. How do I, got it. So my inspiration was more so inspired by the movie rather than the staged version that exists, because like, as you can see, they went like a little harder in the movie and just like leaned into the like silver eyeshadow and crazy like hair extensions and cool stuff. And then in the staged version, I feel like they went more in the costumey direction, but didn't like push the hair and makeup as hard. And I'm like always inspired by punk little kids. So that was like kind of what I wanted to look like. And then I went through kind of like a journey with the hair, because at first I wanted to do something like victory spikes or like a mohawk or like really intense. But then my hair texture did not want me to do that. So I had to go back to the drawing board and I was like, okay, I'll do some kind of space bun, ponytail type of things. And then this is the final product that I ended up with. So I have a little punk rock kid with the pigtails and black eyeliner, and my Guitar Hero guitar. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, that was really great. So those were all of our projects. So congratulations to everyone who presented. I thought everything was really cool and everyone did something very unique and different and all had like different, like no one did something similar, which I thought was really exciting. And this recording will be uploaded to YouTube sometime in the coming days. So if you want to look at someone's project again, you will find it on our YouTube channel. But that's it. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed our first ever Texpo. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too.